New information on the Liberty fire in Umatilla County as some were forced from their homes. A look at the damage and an update on the evacuation orders. Plus, opioid use on the rise in the Tri-Cities, what Kennewick police want you to know and watch out for. And later, preparing for protests tomorrow in what is being called a National Day of Defiance. Details on what's happening across the U.S. and in our region.
And the fire situation is winding down for now, but we have another dicey setup for the beginning of next week. I'll tell you why coming up on a special edition of Apple Valley News Now, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now, prime time on your side.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for a special edition of Apple Valley News Now. I'm Wendy Redman. We begin tonight with updates on wildfires happening throughout our region, as well as your weekend forecast. Apple Valley News Now's chief meteorologist, Josh, is in for Stacy tonight. And Josh, you've had a really busy week seeing some of these dry and windy conditions while at the scene of a fire. But what can you tell us about what's ahead as well?
Yeah, thankfully it looks like the situation calming down for now. We've seen containment go up on pretty much all of these fires and all evacuations lifted. So that's what we love to see, but we are not out of the woods yet as we are still dealing with some very gusty winds right now. These are the unofficial wind gusts, but around 40 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 30 miles per hour in the lower Columbia Basin, a little bit calmer in the Bluefoot Hills and the Blue Mountains. Temperatures in the 40s up in the Cascades, 50s for the Blues, and 60s and 70s for lower elevations. Feeling pretty good out there. Overnight, lows are going to fall down into the 40s and 50s. Could be a little bit hazy in Hermiston and Walla Walla and Pendleton and Lexington and Heppner because of some of those fires that are burning closer to the gorge. And then for this Father's Day weekend, could have some additional haze in portions of Morrow, Umatilla, and Walla Walla counties. It looks like air quality is going to be pretty good in the lower Columbia Basin and in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. But as we head into Monday, another day that's going to be an interesting combination of ingredients. Strong wind gusts, dry air, and dry vegetation. So once again, fires can start or spread very quickly. I'll have another look at that weekend forecast, and I'll show you some of the wind gusts that are driving this, and that's going to be coming up a little bit later in the show.
All right, Josh, thanks so much. All evacuations are now lifted in the Liberty fire in Umatilla County, and people are allowed to return to their homes. While fire crews were able to put the fire out fairly quickly, let's take a look at some of the damage left behind in these incredible images here. The wildfire tore through a property that had several buses parked in a grassy lot. Several of the buses have just been destroyed by those flames. Officials say people should not come out to take a look at the destruction. It is a hazardous area and fire crews need space to work. Umatilla County Fire District 1 said mutual aid was called out to the fire, including crews from Boardman, East Umatilla, Echo, Heppner, Aragon, Pilot Rock, Umatilla Tribal, and Umatilla Rural Fire Departments and districts. Oregon State Police and the Umatilla County Sheriff's Office helped with road closures and evacuations. Umatilla Electric, Pacific Power, and Bonneville Power also called out to help with repairs to power poles and lines. The cause of the fire has not yet been released. Staying on the fire watch, a wind-driven fire in the Horsehaven Hills area had firefighters scrambling. As Dan Hansen shows us, the flames threatened homes, but teamwork and air support made all the difference.
This helicopter is one of two water-dripping aircraft attacking the flames in the Badger Canyon area of the Horsehaven Hills, where another wildfire has crews working around the clock. Multiple agencies on the ground battling an active natural cover fire that sparked near Badger Road and Bridge Private Road. With strong winds pushing flames fast, wildland teams had to move even faster.
We took a significant amount of effort to contain the Weber incident, is what we're calling it. We held it at 391 acres, primarily grass and brush again.
Structure protection units were positioned right away. Homes were threatened, but thanks to fast-acting crews, none were lost. 3 small outbuildings burned, and there was some damage to nearby shops, but all residents are safe. Nichols says crews monitored the fire overnight and are now in the mop-up stages. Firefighters spent part of their morning battling another brush fire off Mills Road. It scorched dozens of acres before crews could get to it. It started as 2 fires, but strong winds helped it grow into one larger burn. Benton County Fire District 1 Deputy Fire Chief Ryan Nichols says the location, away from homes, meant no evacuations were needed. But windy conditions continuing this week, crews are urging the public to stay safe.
If an individual sees something, please say something. The last thing that we want is a fire to start and continue to grow without being reported to the 911 system because an individual assumes that someone else called it in.
Nichols says they originally thought the fire to be 15 acres, but when they got there, they estimated the fire to be around 40 acres. Crews remained on the scene battling the fire, and no word on what caused it. It's still under investigation, and no injuries were reported. This is just the beginning of wildland fire season. Firefighters say if the wind keeps up, summer could be relentless. For now, they're asking everyone to steer clear of the area and let emergency crews work safely. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Agencies say they'll continue monitoring the areas for hot spots because even a small spark can escalate quickly in these conditions. Following up now on the Red Bridge fire, it is still active in Kittitas County. The fire started Monday and has burned more than 53 acres so far, but it is now 90% contained. We're told 2 structures have been damaged and the evacuations that were in effect have now been canceled. The area continues to be monitored for any hot spots. As for the Rowena fire in the Columbia River Gorge, officials say there is little growth as crews continue to battle it. The fire has already burned more than 3,800 acres with 0 containment. But that could change as more data is gathered. So far, 49 homes have been destroyed. No deaths have been reported. Highway 30 is closed between Rowena and milepost 82, while level 1, 2, and 3 evacuations are still in effect. There was a community meeting at 7 o'clock tonight at the Dalles High School auditorium. In other news tonight, a homicide suspect out of Pierce County in the death of a child caught in the Tri-Cities. It was all thanks to a multi-agency collaborative effort. The Richland Police Department says they received a tip from Kennewick Police. 26-year-old Carly Ely was in the 1900 block of Jadwin Avenue when RPD says she was taken into custody. She was booked into the Benton County Jail on a warrant for first-degree manslaughter. Ely is wanted in connection with the death of her 15-month-old son. According to Pierce County officials, the baby died of a fentanyl overdose on March 18th. Speaking of fentanyl continues to be a growing concern in the Tri-Cities and in Kennewick especially. Police say they're seeing it more often. According to the Kennewick Police Department, opioid use has been steadily increasing over the last few years, impacting many in the community struggling with addiction. But one drug in particular stands out, as we said it, fentanyl. Officers say it often appears in the form of small blue pills, sometimes rainbow colored, with an M and 30 stamped on them. There's also a powder form that's usually white. One common place it shows up, city parks. That's why KPD has stepped up nighttime patrols in those areas, and they're urging you, if you see anything that looks like fentanyl, don't touch it. Call police immediately.
We do run into this a lot, right? Some people that will drop their narcotics by mistake and leave it in the general public for someone else to come across. So just be very aware if you do see something that matches that type of description. Give us a call immediately and we have a proper way to dispose of that.
KPD says all of their officers carry Narcan just in case they need to respond to an overdose while out in the field. Israel's attack on Iran has introduced significant volatility into the oil market. At one point on Thursday, prices in the U.S. soared 13% per barrel. That price has fallen for now, but it's still up 5%. The spike is based on fears a wider conflict in the Middle East could disrupt oil supplies. The Trump administration's 50% steel tariffs have threatened to make everything containing steel more expensive. Now the administration is taking steps toward those tariffs applying to your next fridge or dishwasher. In a notice set to be published Monday, the Commerce Department specified the recently increased steel tariffs would also apply to consumer appliances containing steel. So starting June 23rd, those products will be taxed an additional 50% for the amount of steel they contain. And it's not just refrigerators and dishwashers. Those products will also include items like dryers, washing machines, freezers, ovens, garbage disposals, and wire racks. Coming up next on Apple Valley News Now, officials say the risks far outweigh the benefits. We'll tell you what not to do if you are near a canal. And the weather has been hot and dry lately. Josh is coming back with a look at your full first alert weather forecast, getting you all ready for the weekend. We'll be right back.
Regain your quality of life with expert spine care at Prosser Memorial Health. Neurological spine surgeon Dr. David Yam, with over 20 years of experience, specializes in comprehensive spine care, minimally invasive surgery, and disc replacement. Dr. Yam is now seeing patients at our new Spine Center locations in Prosser and Walla Walla. Call 509-786-5599 today to schedule your appointment. New, returning, and second opinion patients welcome. The new Spine Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Have you heard about refractive lens exchange? K2 Vision RLE means no glasses, no contacts, and no readers permanently. And you'll never develop a cataract.
No glasses or readers. K2 Vision RLE.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want, at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue or Pathfinder.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Only at your local Ford dealer.
My family's been serving the Tri-Cities for 86 years at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores. And we have some deals we don't want you to miss. Get ready for hot weather. This fan's a steal at $29.99. A grill would make a great Father's Day gift. We have many in stock at super prices. Ace pleated furnace filters are buy 3, get 1 free. HCH Pool Shock Advanced is half price at $4.99. See all the deals using this QR code. Come see us at Griggs and the Tri-Cities Ace stores. And thank you for your business.
Beyond sale season is upon us. Blue skies bring out bold hearts and the negotiator. He says your tongs are overpriced by 50 cents. He's here to haggle, not to make friends. But you survived the swarm. You haggled over quarters, and you sold that blender for $2. You could have donated all of that to Goodwill, helped your community, and spent your weekend doing literally anything else. Goodwill. Donate, shop, impact locally.
At US Cellular, we created an event to celebrate our customers, like Luana here, called Us Days.
Yeah, they give us special rewards and exclusive deals in everything. It almost feels like we're part of a cool club together.
Sure does.
Slide Connect. Woo, woo, woo. Hug, shake.
Us Days just got bigger. All customers get a free phone with no trade-in.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
With more people moving to the Tri-Cities and the hot weather kicking in, it might seem tempting to cool off in one of the local canals. But Apple Valley News Now's William Albert shows us why officials with the Kennewick Irrigation District are warning people, stay out of the water.
The Kennewick Irrigation District is urging the public to avoid swimming in local canals, saying it's not only irresponsible, but dangerous. The water flowing through the canal system, which supports irrigation for areas like Kennewick, Findlay, and South Richland, comes from the Yakima River, and while it might look refreshing on a hot day, officials say the risks far outweigh any benefits.
According to the Kennewick Irrigation District, canals are not safe to swim in. For one, they are a dangerous drowning hazard, and two, they are frequently treated with chemicals.
It is raw Yakima River water. It's also treated with chemicals, and we treat it with chemicals because we don't want the algae to pile up on the sides. That could clog our filters, that can clog our screens, that can clog your filters.
Berglund says that fast-moving water and low visibility make the canal a serious drowning risk, even for strong swimmers.
They did a study one time where they dropped a shoe in the canal. Within 30 seconds, it was already a quarter mile away. So we want people to be aware of that the water is dark.
He also says it's not just swimmers getting in trouble. Cars are sometimes pulled from the canal after crashing in.
Say at least once a year, a car or two will happen to drive into the canals and get stuck. And that time, usually the authorities come. You have to escort them out, and then obviously tow trucks have to pull the cars out too. It can cause damage to the canals, which will also have to be repaired.
To help spread the word, the district is offering free presentations for schools and other groups, especially aimed at younger audiences.
We offer a presentation that we can do in schools or other programs where we come in and talk about canal safety. We have a fun presentation board about some of the objects that we do find in the canal system.
While the Kennewick Irrigation District understands people want to cool off this summer, they say it shouldn't come at the expense of your safety. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
Well, if you are looking for safe and fun ways to cool off this summer, head on over to applevalleynewsnow.com.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Yeah, and just a reminder that the water still will be cold out there. So, sometimes people can go into shock when they go from the hot temperatures to the very cold water. Just something that you need to be prepped for. But never mind that. Right now, a live look at a beautiful sunset in Toppenish. This view coming courtesy of our friends over at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Could be a little bit breezy/windy for the rest of the night. Specifically before 11 p.m. Peak gust around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 35 miles per hour for the Basin, the Morrow County foothills, 30 miles per hour for places like Umatilla, places like Pendleton and Walla Walla, that is. Okay, for tonight. Could have some haze in Morrow County, Umatilla County, and Walla Walla County from the fires that are burning closer to the gorge, but should be good air quality in the basin, the valleys, and up in the Cascades. Can't rule out a few sprinkles for the Blue Mountains and the Blue Foothills, but the rest of us should be a dry night and a mostly clear night as well. Overnight lows down into the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the higher terrain. And then for tomorrow, kind of the same deal. Mostly sunny skies, but it could be some hazy sunshine once again in Morrow County, Umatilla County, and Walla Walla County. The rest of us should have good air quality. And it's going to be another warm day. Not unbearably hot, but very warm out there. 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 60s and 70s up in the mountains. Okay, as we head into the beginning of next week, we're going to have another day where we'll have a very interesting combination of ingredients. The air is going to be dry. The vegetation is going to be dry. And once again, it's going to be breezy and windy for all of the lower elevations of south central Washington and northeastern Oregon. So fires could start or spread very quickly in those conditions. So to underscore that, here's some of the peak gusts we're expecting for Monday. Peak gust around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, 25 miles per hour in the Yakima Valley, and between 30 to 40 miles per hour for the Basin and for the Blue Foothills. So please exercise all the fire safety you've learned through the years. Unfortunately, not much rainfall to cool us off in the forecast over the next 7 days. Now, from Tuesday through Friday, we'll have some shower chances up in the Cascades. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to squeeze much rainfall out of this storm system or these series of storm systems, but we can hope, right? High temperatures trending up. They're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We'll throw Wednesday into the mix as well, and then more seasonal for Thursday and Friday. Hey, remember at the beginning of this week, it was like 103 degrees, so we'll take 90. That sounds all right. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A first alert weather day for Monday, just given those aforementioned tough fire weather conditions. That's also when the high temperatures are going to peak. In Yakima, highs also around 90 for Monday. Then they'll back off to around 80 for next Thursday and Friday. That'll be a nice little break. Then in Ellensburg, of course, it is just always so windy in the Kittitas Valley around this time of the year. So winds for Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. You get the gist. In Hermiston, we'll be up around 90 for Monday, also cooling off after that, and just sort of repetitive haze. Doesn't look like the air quality is going to be terrible, but the haze will be noticeable. The same thing in Walla Walla County. Now that is obviously barring major containment efforts and major containment progress with some of those fires that are burning closer to the gorge, so we'll have to stay tuned for that.
All right. Well, I know we've been talking a lot about fire safety, as we should, because that has just been dominating headlines and keeping our crews very busy, but it is Father's Day this weekend as well. So if you're in an area not affected by that, it looks like pretty good weather for Dad, I think, on Sunday, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have plenty of sunshine. It's gonna be warm. The fire weather concerns aren't. I'm not saying you don't have to be safe as it pertains to fire, but definitely the conditions not going to be as bad as they were today and as bad as they're going to be on Monday. So a nice little gift for Dad, if you will.
There you go. All right, Josh, thanks so much. Coming up next, a crash in Louisville, Kentucky, caught on camera, sending the semi-truck off the interstate. We'll tell you what happened.
The Y Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
Saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
It's a brave face we put on. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. Don't want to be any trouble. But you know, sometimes we're not fine. Because getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we're human and we're aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. Anywhere, anytime. Call 988.
At McCurley Subaru, service has always meant more than just turning wrenches. It's about turning trust into lasting relationships. That's why we've expanded to better serve you. Double the oil change bays, 33% more technicians, and faster turnaround with basic services done in about 45 minutes. And we don't just service Subarus. We work on all makes and models, old and new. Whether you're maintaining your vehicle or facing something bigger, our newly remodeled service department is ready when you are. McCurley Subaru, your way home. Book your service appointment today at McCurleySubaru.com.
At Fred's, not only do we guarantee the best prices, we prove it. Our live price card keeps things transparent, showing you real-time prices. No gimmicks, just the best prices on in-stock, get-it-today inventory. And when it comes to beating the big box stores, our prices aren't just competitive, they're unbeatable. Check out how we stack up. Whether it's this amazing new fridge or this energy-efficient dishwasher, Fred's prices are always the best. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
June 27th is Mariner Moose Night with the Walla Walla Suites, and we're giving away tickets. Enter on our mobile app or on the contest page at applevalleyNewsNow.com. 5 winners each get 4 tickets to Mariner Moose Night with the Walla Walla Suites, June 27th. Be there.
Check this out. Caught on camera in Kentucky, a semi-truck crashed and caught fire in downtown Louisville this morning. Do you see this? Oh my goodness, watch as it goes down there. Yep, there it goes. Video captured the moments the blazing truck tumbled off an interstate overpass. According to Louisville fire officials, the driver was able to escape with only minor injuries. Wow. A large cloud of smoke could be seen miles away. City leaders said the semi-truck was not carrying anything. It's going to be an extra special Father's Day for a man in Centennial, Colorado, and it's all thanks to his 8-year-old daughter. Adriana Wales possibly saved the life of her dad earlier this month when she used Siri to call 911. She made the call after her father, who has brain cancer, became unresponsive after a seizure. Dispatchers say she was calm on the phone as she gave them her address and other critical information. First responders got to the home and then brought her father to the hospital, where he was treated and released later that day. Adriana says her mother, who wasn't home at the time, had taught her how to respond during a medical emergency. Great job to her.